1971 to 1974. Strat-O-Matic Excel Carryover League. Brought to you by the Shrimp Trawler.
Game 503, Colorado at Las Vegas. Welcome back, baseball fans. 1971-74 Carryover League. We got a series in the National League Mountain Time Zone Division, the fun expansion team division. What makes this league very intriguing for me was expanding it from 24 or 26 teams later in the 70s to 32 to get a math similar to the National Football League, where it's set up with 4 divisions in each league and 4 division winners and 2 wild cards, much like the NFL is how this is patterned out, schedule-wise as well. Everything is so much easier to do when you have 32 of something versus some other number. So that means that you have to invent some teams. In this case, you have a semi-fictional team, the Colorado Rockies, who don't exist until the 90s, versus the truly fictional team, the Las Vegas Rivieras, named after a hotel that has a nice chunk of my money. I think they've since demolished it. But in any event, Colorado and Las Vegas. So, if you're wondering, when you're building out these fictional teams, how do you give them an identity? And so, basically, I wanted to, kind of experiment a little bit with roster building, and I use these expansion franchises as the template for varying strategies and to use them year to year. So the 2 teams you don't see here, Arizona, normally gets the best crop of players. Maybe it's the alphabet, A. They usually get the first, in the original expansion draft, they got the first crack at guys, and they always went after batting average. Colorado Rockies go after homers, walks, and strikeouts on the batter's cards. We'll get more into that in a little bit. Las Vegas goes for outstanding defense and pitching, and Portland, the 4th team, goes for whatever's left over. With no plan in place. So they're kind of a wild card, the wildest of wild cards. So let's take a look at what has to happen in this series between Las Vegas and Portland. Here we are in the eliminations in the Mountain Time Zone right here. The Las Vegas team is a game behind Colorado. So a best of 7, if they win 4 games to 3, there would be a tie. However, Colorado has a +2 tiebreaker. So Vegas would have to win a game 8. So they need to win 5 of 8 games. Las Vegas versus Colorado. Now, both of these teams, like I said before, the Rockies, their strategy is simple. Homers, walks, strikeouts. That means don't hit no double plays, don't steal bases, don't go from first to third, don't tag up on fly balls. Make the other team get you out 27 times. And if you get a 3-run homer along the way, you might win. Vegas has assembled possibly the greatest defense I've ever seen in the Strat-O-Matic League I put together. They got Wes Parker 1E5. They got Ed Brinkman 1E8, Aurelio Rodriguez 1E13, Mike Anderson 1E7, Ken Berry 1E0, and a 2 in second base, and Tim Cullen, a 2 in left field, and Jim Nettles. So they go with the best defense and good pitching. These 2 squads have won this division the last 3 years. Vegas has won it the last 2, Colorado the year before that. However, both teams are in the doldrums, and one will be eliminated. Let's take a look at see what's happened. We opened up in Colorado a game 1. It's Jim Lomborg. He was signed this year. He wasn't in the league until this particular year, and he's really struggled against Ron Reed. In this one, the long ball guys, Don Money goes deep. But in the top of the third, a walk and then an error by Rick Auerbach, E44 shortstop, a Wes Parker triple, and a Tommy Davis two-run homer. 4 runs by the offensively challenged Las Vegas team, and you're thinking, hey, wait a minute, this great defensive team is going to build a big lead and you're not going to be able to come back. That's not the case. Bottom of the third, Joe LaHood, 2-run homer. 5th inning, RBI single to tie it, and then in the 6th inning, Don Money, a 2-run homer. It's 6-4. That's the end of the scoring. Ron Reed goes 8. All-star closer Mel Queen gets the save. Colorado wins game 1. They hit 1, 2, 3 home runs. Anytime they do that, they're probably going to win. And they're up now 2 games in the overall standings. Game number 2. Vegas needs a road win. They sent their all-star pitcher, Woody Fryman, who opened the season in the bullpen. He's too important now to sit rotting away in the bullpen, so he's asked to start. Against John Cumberland, a farmhand out of the San Francisco system. In this one, after Tommy Davis stolen base, Mike Anderson RBI double. But then the unthinkable happens for Las Vegas's stunning defense. It's incredibly awful luck here. Couple singles, a sac fly. Juan Beniquez, if you ever followed that cat's career, you know he's a great defensive outfielder. He drops a fly ball. In the 3rd inning, Juan Beniquez drops another fly ball. And then it's Andy Costco with a 3-run homer. 6th inning, an error by second baseman Cullen. Nothing comes of it. But in the 7th inning, after a walk to Rick Auerbach, Jack Hyatt hits a ground ball double play to 1E8 shortstop Ed Brinkman, and he makes an error. Folks, if you're wondering about the error on an E8 shortstop, I can tell you right now the percentage. It is the roll of a 3 or a 4, which is 2 plus 3 divided by 36. It's about 13%. And in the calculation, he hit a low percentage. And it just happens, you know, it's one of the 8 errors. And yeah, couldn't come at a worse time. Give Vegas credit for coming back with 2 in the 9th, but they fall short again. Colorado only had 1 home run in this game by Costco, but it was enough to get a 7-6 win. So they're now up by 3 games. And we go to a game 3 in Las Vegas. Dick Drago for the Rockies, and it's Ken Brett for Las Vegas. High scoring affair. Right out the door, the Rockies walk single, sac fly, a Dave Kingman homer, a Joe Liss homer. It's 5-0, and I'm thinking this is curtains because Vegas just does not have an offense to score 5 runs. Or do they? By now, if you've watched this channel, you realize anytime you see all these pretty colors, it means the game is going extra innings. Every box is filled up, and then we go backwards. Just some highlights in this game. We have a Juan Beniquez homer, an RBI double by Cullen, RBI double by Tommy Davis, another double. They're just getting a ton of hits off of Dick Drago. This game goes into the 13th inning. Auerbach singles. J.C. Martin singles. Auerbach goes coast to coast, then scores on a sac fly. Bottom of the 13th, a single. Mel Queen comes in and closes this thing out. It is a 9-8 victory for Colorado in this game. They've won all 3 games. How many homers did they hit? What a day for Dave Kingman. A homer, and a triple. Again, Joe Liss hit a home run. Am I missing anybody? Jack Hyatt hit a home run in the 9th off of Blue Moon Odom. Blue Moon Odom and Woody Fryman flipped starter and relief roles for this series, trying to get something going. Everything Vegas has tried to do has failed miserably. So the short answer to the question is the homer strategy. You can't defend a ball that's over the wall. If it's in the bleachers, I don't care how great a fielder you are, you can't leap over the fence and catch it. And so the bashing Rockies seem to have the answer to Las Vegas's great defense. Not to mention that Vegas's great defense has not played very well when they have to, and their starting pitching hasn't been very good. 3 straight losses. Let's take an overall look here. big picture now at what a dreadful, really nightmare season Vegas has had. 22 losses already, the absolute worst. I don't think this team is horrible. I really don't. I just think that everything has to work perfectly, and they have to play crisp, tight baseball, like they're the Orioles or the Mets. Good defense, good pitching, and stuff like that. And they have played anything but. And now they are about to be eliminated. There's 5 possible games left. Vegas needs to win all 5. You can figure it out, folks. The Rockies now, check this out. They're just 2 under 500 suddenly. This is not something the rest of the National League wanted to find out. How a weak sister in the Mountain Division can get that close to 500, because you already have these guys, the Pirates and the Reds. Of course, the Mets had a horrible time earlier. And then out west, you still have the Dodgers. You don't want to get the Rockies involved in a potential playoff discussion. But right now, they've won 3 straight. And now I'm thinking the rest of the National League is rooting for Las Vegas to win a couple games. So that's the backdrop today, folks. Colorado at Las Vegas, Game 4. A huge game for Colorado. If they end it today and get a +4, they're suddenly a player with this Bash Brothers offense. The True Blue Brew crew of Milwaukee, the Bash Brothers of the Oakland A's, any of those slugging squads you want to bring up from the past. And I love the strategy if you can stick with it. Don't do anything stupid. Stay out of double plays. Don't try stolen bases. Only tag up if it's automatic. You get the idea. In Las Vegas, today's pitchers, Al Fitzmaurice. For the Rockies, he was out of the Kansas City system in '73. He pitched to a .283 ERA. And from Vegas, Ray Culp had some nice years with the Red Sox in '70 and '71, won 14 games and 242 innings. The Red Sox had too many right-handed starting pitchers, and they let him go. And Vegas snatched him up. So, here we are. Leading off for the Rockies today will be Don Money. 1-7, double one, base hit. Batting second is Don Mason, and they're gonna mess this all up, and they're gonna do a hit and run. That's right. After telling you, don't hit and run, steal a base, or do anything. This Don Mason guy's been on the bench the whole series. They're up 3-0. I decided to have him bat second. I said if Money gets on, I'm gonna have this clown hit and run. So here we go, he's going to hit and run, defying all logic. And look what happens. He rolls the 2 and it works perfectly. Time to retire that. Go out 1 for 1 and don't do it again. Have 1,000 batting average. Bat 1,000 hitting and running. How about that? Runners in the corners, playing back for Rick Auerbach. 54. Third X, but it's going to be a 1. It's going to be A-Rod, a 1E13 third baseman. That is a 5-4-3 double play, but you get no RBI. You get a run, scoring on the double play. And with 2 outs, it's Joe LaHood. 59, flies left. Bottom of 1, Wes Parker. Leading off now, was batting second. 46 is a base hit. Now this team likes to be scrappy and hit and run and do all that sort of stuff. But they're not going to do it with Tommy Davis, who's one of the best hitters in the team. They want to roll off his card. Tommy Davis. 112, of course. It's a 1-6-3 double play. This has been a microcosm of this whole season. This Don Mason character who hit 200 gets a hit and run single, and the 324 hitting Tommy Davis hits into a double play. Ken Berry, 4-4, a double to right field. And with 2 outs, it's Jim Nettles. 4-10, center B. Oh my goodness. The offensively starved Las Vegas team get a single and a double in the first inning and then get nothing out of it. Rick Monday, 57's a K. Dave Kingman, 1-7, triple 1-13 is a triple. They're going to bring it up. They can't afford to give up too many runs. Terry Crowley walks on 1-7. On the corners, up and hold for Andy Costco. 1-6 is a K, and with 2 outs, it's J.C. Martin. 47 is a walk. The bases are loaded, 2 outs for Don Money. Let's take a look at Don Money's card. was a Brewer, was with the Phillies, went to the Brewers. The Rockies got him in an expansion draft in between those two teams, and they're going to hold on to money as long as they can because they love his versatility. An infielder hits with plenty of power as well. 15 home runs and a 283 average in 74. Also a 188 at third base. He's actually better defensively than A-Rod, at least in this particular year. And a big at-bat here. Bases loaded, 2 outs. The pitch to Don Money. 53 off Culp. Right X. This is where your defense needs to shine. And you got 1E7 Mike Anderson. And that's the end of the inning. That's how this team's supposed to play. I mean, any defensive X's, you should consider them being double plays and outs against a team who doesn't want to hit double plays. All right, Mike Anderson leading off, 49, second X. Mason's a 2E30. That's a cheap single. Tim Cullen, 2-7, short B+. He's on at first for Ron Hodges. Left X, left fielder is LaHood. It's a 3E9. That's a 2-base area. You have second and third now. You're going to play back as a team, like I said, doesn't want to give up extra runs. No, they got to bring it up. They got A bunting Ed Brinkman. So you bring it up for A bunters. That's one of my rules. 39 grounds to third. Runners hold back for A-Rod. A-Rod, off of Fitzmaurice card, is a single to left field. 1 run will score. Ron Hodges, 11, 12, 13, will run and score on a 13. He just gets it. Not bad for a catcher. An 11 running catcher. You got LaHood in left with a 0 arm, but there's 2 outs. You add a couple to make it a 13. That's a very important 2-run single for this Vegas squad. They take a 2-1 lead. Those are unearned runs. Wes Parker, 49, single 1 to 10, lines out. Top of the third, it's Don Mason, 36, a walk. Rick Auerbach, 1-4, left. Joe LaHood, 48, double 1 to 10, single dot. Runners on the corners. They are going to, oh boy. They're going to play it up. They're so offensively challenged. They don't want this team to tie it easily. But Rick Monday, 49, nails the Culp card for triple 1 to 5, double the rest, and that is a 1. That's a base clearing triple. We've got a 3-2 game. Not looking good for the rest of the National League. This Colorado team, they don't need these guys to get hot. Dave Kingman, 38's a strikeout. And with 2 outs, Terry Crowley, 57, another strikeout. Notice the number of walks and strikeouts we're already getting. Starting to pile those up. 3-2 for the visitors. Tommy Davis, 2-8, grounds are short. Ken Berry, 37, it's okay. Jim Nettles, 54, lines a second. Top of the fourth, Andy Costco, 2-9, that's okay. J.C. Martin, 2-8, that's okay. And Don Money, 65, pops to first base. Bottom of the fourth, Mike Anderson, 2-10, short. Tim Cullen, 2-8, that's a single. Stealer, not going anywhere. Ron Hodges, 55, is a walk. 2 men on for Ed Brinkman. Gosh. This is the problem. I'd almost want to bunt the 203 hitter, but there's a 222 hitter behind him. Yeah, that's the problem with this great defense. 4-11. Left X, you got a better chance of this anyway. Left X, 3E9, that is a double dot, and that will tie the game. Second and third are going to bring it up with 1 out for A-Rod. 3-6, and that's a base hit because you brought it up for A-Rod. How did you got to? You know, it's probably not a smart thing to do with a 222 hitter. I mean, if he gets lucky enough to make contact and they get the run on the ground ball, that's better than giving up a 2-run single, which is just what just happened. So the improbable 2 under hitters got doubles and singles, and Vegas is back on track now. It's a 5-3 game. Runner at first, 1 out. Wes Parker. 6-4, third X. Don Money, the 1E8. And that's a double play. The one place you shouldn't hit it to, Vegas, you did. But they have a 5-3 lead. That's a lot of runs for this team. Now it's up to the pitching and defense to hold the fort. They got to win a game. Fryman's unavailable. Again, Odom's in the closing role with Jim Rowland, Jim York, and Hambright. But they got to get Colt through 6 or 7 innings here today. Don Mason, 46, another walk. He is a perfect, been on base 3 times. Rick Auerbach, 46, is a K. Joe LaHood, 1-8 is single. 1-2, 17, gets it. 2 on, 1 out for Rick Monday. 2-9 is a K, and with 2 outs, it's Kingman. Let's take a look at Dave Kingman. Perfect card. Perfect guy for this franchise, right? Dave Kingman. Homers, walks, strikes out. Frankly, this is a 71 season where he hit 278 and 115 at-bats. It only goes down a hill from here for batting average until his magical 1979 with the Cubs. But a 278 average, they'll take this card in its final year. Big at bat here for the Rockies. The pitch. 3-5, ball 4. Bases are loaded with a walk, a K, a single, a K, and a walk, and it's Terry Crowley. A bases loaded walk will cut it to 1, and a grand slam will give him a 2-run lead. The pitch to Terry Crowley. 35 is a bouncer to short. Ray Culp surviving is the best way I can describe it at this point. Bottom of the 5th. Let's pause a moment for station identification.
This is the Shrimp Trawler video channel.
Este es el canal de videos de camaroneros.
All right, now Fitzmaurice having a rocky start. His defense let him down in that inning. And then again, the infield came up and let him down in that inning. Tommy Davis leads off. 110 is a base hit. Beast Stealer. Martin's got a -1 on he'll stay put. Ken Berry. 48 off Fitzmaurice having a rough day. Single 1 of 14 gets it. How many hits is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 hits already in the fifth frame. 2 on for Jim Nettles. 5-11 is a walk. The bases are loaded for Mike Anderson. They're going to play back over double play. 1-5. Let's take a look at the Mike Anderson card. Well, he's in there because he's a 1-1 right fielder with power. Was with the Phillies in 73. 9 homers, 193 at-bats. Crushes lefties. 1-5 would normally be a home run. Unfortunately, it's homer 1, fly ball the rest. And when we look up, it is a 9. So it's a sac fly. Not bad. Could have been better. First and second, 1 out. Tim Cullen. 64, short X. Auerbach's a 4E44. You got to start exploiting that terrible road team defense of the Rockies. And they do for a single. Runners in the corners. Now they're going to bring it up for Ron Hodges. Oh, they're not going to bring it up. That's right. They don't do those things. They're going to play it back for Hodges, who lines the second base. And Ed Brinkman. 66, pops the third. That time it worked for the Rockies. 7-3. Got to win this one if you're Vegas. Cannot let the Rockies back in this. Make them hit 4 solo homers. Leading off in the 6th, it's Andy Costco. 5-10. Center X, but I don't have to roll. You got a 1E0 in center field. No dice roll required. It's an automatic out. J.C. Martin. 35, grounds short, and with 2 outs, it's Don Money. 34, grounds to short. Ray Culp, 6 great innings there. Fitzmaurice breaks in the 6th. Let's let him continue here. Runs into trouble, hook him. Pops to first for A-Rod. Wes Parker, 3-12, fouls the catcher. And Tommy Davis, 1-6, is double 1 of 12. That's a base hit with 2 outs. Tommy Davis wants to try a steal. Yes, let's do that. And that didn't work. Oh well. Had a 4-run lead. You can gamble every once in a while on that. Did not work out. All the defense they have is in there. It's a 7-3 game in the 7th inning. If Culp puts a couple guys on, we'll give him a hook. Don Mason, a 212 hitter for the Padres, is reached all 3 times. Pitch to Mason. 67, single 1 of 14 off of Culp. He does not get it. The dangerous Don Mason, you got him to line out to short. Rick Auerbach. 1-2, Lomax, and with 2 outs, It's Joe LaHood, 1-5, flies to right field. Stretch time here in the desert in Las Vegas. We have been enjoying this Ethiopics Swinging at Us from 1969-74. Collection of lounge music. These cats here are bumping this thing. Bumping this joint. I mean, this stuff is just... Yeah, man, let's turn this down. These guys can swing all night long in Addis Ababa. Let's get back to the game. Here we go, bottom of the 7th. Fitzmaurice will leave. Jim Merritt comes in. Ken Berry swings. Pops to short. Jim Nettles flies to right. Mike Anderson. 64. It is gone off the Jim Merritt card. 8-3. Tim Cullen. Double 1 and 2 base hit. Barry Foote, the pinch hitting catcher. 6 is a K. And we go, yeah. Great stuff there. These guys are bumping it all throughout the night there. Dun, 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 dun. All right. 7 in the books. Ray Culp will leave with an 8-3 lead. It's giving them everything you have. And we'll have Hambright come in here. The long man. Try and get some outs with a big 5-run lead here. Use your defense, Roger. Roger Hambright is coming in. 3-1 with a 4.33 ERA for the Yankees in 71. Roger Hambright, for all you Roger Hambright fans out there. It'll be Rick Monday leading off. 57 is a K. Dave Kingman. 57, same thing on the right side, pops to second, and with 2 outs it's Crowley. Mr. Crowley walks. Andy Costco. Andy, my good friend Andy. 49, lines to first base. Nice inning for Hambright. We'll let Merritt continue. In an 8-3 game, it's Ed Brinkman. 36, third. A-Rod, 6'10", short X. The terrible Auerbach, a 4.44. Gives up a single. 4.44, the road team shortstop. 1.88, home team shortstop. Wes Parker, 2-8, 5-4-3, double play. We'll go to the 9th inning. We'll let Hambright continue here. Get out of this game. Preserve the rest of your bullpen. And in an attempted comeback, J.C. Martin leads off. 5-11, second X, but you got Collins, a 2 second baseman, and he makes the play. Sparkling defense today and a winning effort is what we're seeing. Don Money, 37's a K, and with 2 outs, oh sure, Don Mason will bat. 2-7, pops to first base. Vegas finally gets a victory there. Much needed. Maybe it'll be a gentleman's sweep, we don't know, but boy, they really needed this effort today. They've had a really tough year. Just winning a game means a lot. And avoiding the sweep. They don't think they're that bad. Hambright in 2 innings of relief, a walk and 2 Ks. A nice start for Ray Culp. They gave up 6 hits, 3 runs. They were all earned. 5 walks, 8 strikeouts. Jim Merritt in relief gave up the solo homer. 2 hits, a run, and a K, and another hit and a double play. Not a good day for Al Fitzmaurice at all, really. 11 hits and 7 runs. 5 of those are earned. He walked 2, struck out a batter. 1-009, 0-108, 8-14-3-6. 8-14-3-6. 6-10, 2-2, 2-2, 6-10. It took the bright lights of being broadcast on YouTube for Las Vegas to return of their glory of the last 2 years when they were a playoff team. Unfortunately, those bright lights will go dim as I will continue this series, and off camera I'll let you know what happens. But in any event, we'll take a closer look here. Year-to-date numbers for these 2 teams. and see if we can find things out about one team's overall offense, the other team's overall power. Vegas has now cut it to a 3 games with four left. Let's start with Vegas, who won that game. They're hitting 249, which is actually okay when you consider that the Atlanta Braves are hitting 250, and they're the best team in the National League. Vegas has got a 3.54 ERA, which is of course very good. Kind of think you wanted it to be better. I tell you where the problem lies. Jim Lonborg is 1-7, and you're 9 games under 500. He's 6 under 500. The funny thing is, he hasn't pitched that horribly. Let me think. 26 times 9 divided by... He's got a 3.28 ERA. How do you go 1-7 with a 3.28 ERA? He has... Ken Brett is 1-4 with a similar track record there. This team has scored 126 runs, given up 154. Like I said, a lot of bad luck, not much offense. Their lone all-star was Woody Fryman, who's now pitched 25 innings, but was used in the bullpen for most of the year. Nobody has 20 RBIs or 20 runs scored or more than 6 home runs. It's just no offense to help, and not the perfect defense we thought we were getting. A lot of times those defensive players had to sit on the bench to try and generate offense, and it just didn't work. So maybe things have changed after the game we just played. Now the Rockies. Costly loss. They're now 15-18. So it's not so easy. They need to win the next game to have any chance of making the playoffs this year at 2 under 500 going into the next round. They are hitting just 236, so they just aren't getting enough hits to go with the homers and walks. They have a 4.12 ERA, which all things considered isn't that bad, as they don't even look to draft pitchers, or they just wait and take whatever's left over as they build up the homers. Homer-wise, they just haven't connected on a ton of them this year. They do have a diverse group. No one guy has a ton. You've got Andy Costco has 7. Kingman has 4, but 3 of them in this series. He is having a bad year up until this broadcast. Rick Monday has 5. But here's the problem. Rick Money's an everyday center fielder. He's 25 for 115. Stretto is in 217. And Don Money's their steady infielder. Don Money, he's 32 for 134. He's in 239. Yeah. The cornerstone players on this Colorado team are having bad years. The extra player cards, those fringe players you get once every 4 years, they're just not contributing. That's why both these clubs have losing records. Just a quick peek again in this division here. The Rockies can still catch second place if they win one of the next 2 games. Even if they lose and go 15-19, but win the next one and go 16-19, they can catch Arizona for second place, which would give them a better chance in the next round of this tournament. We'll give you the results here at the end. Stay tuned for that. Thanks for checking this out. We'll see you next time. Well, baseball fans, here is the box score of Game 4 that you just saw, where the Vegas team did indeed beat Colorado 8-3, getting a victory with the Rockies still ahead 3-1. What happens in Game 5? Folks, sit down, relax. We got a lot to talk about here, folks. We got some amazing baseball. I don't know about Major League Baseball, but it's amazing baseball nonetheless. Game 5, Ron Reed versus Jim Lonborg. Oh, this is so long ago. My goodness. Dave Kingman hit a 2-run homer, 2-0. Trying to win the series 4-1. The Rockies get a lead. You get a ground out by Kubiak, gets a run. An RBI single by Nettles. It's a 2-2 tie. RBI double, Dave Kingman, 3-2. Rockies again trying to eliminate this team. 6th inning, solo homer, Auerbach, 4-2. Trying to eliminate this team. Bottom half of the 7th, Ron Reed runs out of gas. A single, a double, a 2-base error by Rick Monday. That's not going to work, dude. Game's tied at 4. Top of the, I don't even remember here. Top of the 8th, they get a run. Let's just go to the 9th inning. This is a 3-run deficit, and Mel Queen, the closer, comes in. 3-run lead to eliminate Las Vegas. A single by Tommy Davis, a single by Ken Berry, a 3-run homer in the bottom of the 9th to send this thing into extra innings. The final score is 9-8 Las Vegas in 14 innings. And the winning run scored on a triple by Mike Anderson off of the reliever's card. Klimkowski's card, I believe. Anyway, 9-8 Las Vegas in 14 innings. And suddenly, we're like, boy, Vegas has kind of pulled the Rockies into the muck with them. After winning 3 straight, now the Rockies can't figure out how to beat this team. And it gets worse. We go back to Colorado. Now they're home. They just need to win a baseball game. The road team, 8-6 victors for Las Vegas again in this one. How do they do it? In the 9th inning, Colorado, they've got a 6-4 lead. Their bullpen is wiped out because of Mel Queen, Schellenbach, and Klimkowski in that 14-inning game. So Jim Merritt's in there in the 9th inning. Bases loaded. Jim Nettles against a lefty this time. Jim Merritt's a lefty. Jim Nettles is a lefty. Hits a grand slam. Back-to-back games. How many baseball players do you know have done that? A 3-run homer in the bottom of the 9th to tie a game and send it to extra innings. And a grand slam to give them a 2-run lead to win it. 8-6, Vegas. We're tied. 3 games apiece. It's like the series is brand new with the Rockies just a single game ahead. Vegas still has more work to do. They got to win a Game 7. Can they win a Game 7 in this entertaining series? This one only goes 11 innings. And yes, Vegas does win Game 7 and the 4th in a row to force a Game 8. And it is in the 11th inning where Mel Queen surrenders a couple doubles and a couple singles, and Blue Moon Odom gets the save. Woody Fryman went 9 innings, as did John Cumberland. Oh, I've got to mention this, though. This is John Cumberland's start. He has got 18 in a row and a 1-0 lead. But he loses the perfecto in the 7th, a solo shot by Juan Benitez to make it 1-1. Cumberland's line, 9 innings, 2 hits, a run. No walks, 4 strikeouts, and a no decision. 3-1 Vegas in 11 innings. 3 Colorado wins, 4 straight Las Vegas wins, 2 of those in extra innings. Let's go to the tie-breaking Game 8. If Colorado wins this, they would split 8 games and they would advance. This game goes 12 innings. Ray Culp versus Ron Reed in this one. We have a sac fly by LaHood in the 1st. It's 1-0. We have a sac fly by Jim Nettles in the 5th. It's 1-1. It stays that way into extra innings. Mel Queen, again, about to lose. In the 12th inning, he gives up a single and a sac fly to Ed Brinkman. Bottom of the 12th. Vegas has a 2-1 lead in the bottom of the 12th. They bring in Blue Moon Odom to try and get another save. A hit, a foul, a fly ball out, a walk, a ground out, 2nd and 3rd. 2 outs in the bottom of the 12th inning with a 2-1 lead, trying to win 5 in a row. Andy Costco, 3-run bomb. Ball game series. If you're a fan of Las Vegas, it can't be any more devastating than that. Ripping off 4 straight wins in extra innings 3 out of 5 times. But then the one time they could not keep the ball in the ballpark in the latter part of this series. Andy Costco, a 3-run homer. And that is how this thing ends. Colorado splits 8 games with Vegas. So this is not really going to make much of a difference in our carryover league, but it was a long and entertaining piece of baseball. In the vacuum of not having a carryover league, this was a lot of fun to play because you had two distinctly different type of teams. One team waiting for a homer. It took them 8 games to finally get it. So what does this all mean? Here in the eliminations, Vegas needed to win 5 out of 8. Colorado got a split, 4 wins and 4 losses. So Colorado is a single game ahead of Vegas, but they're both in bad shape. Vegas' series is done. Colorado is 5 games under 500 and in 3rd place. Their prospects are not very good in the next round. They're a 3rd place team, 5 games under 500. Here we go. They play a Houston team a couple games over. It's a net of 3.5 with 5 to play. Winning 4 out of 5 only gets you to a tie-breaking game. That cuts it to a half. So Colorado, 4 out of 5 is not good enough. They'd have to beat the Astros 5 out of 6 times to continue in the tournament. Arizona, we don't know who they're going to play yet. It's either going to be the Dodgers or the Padres, but they are 4 games under 500. So this is how the Dodgers could somehow find a cupcake to play against. That's it. I'll show you the one more time the overall standings in this division. There it is. So, Portland will, they pretty much have the division 2 games over locked up. These guys are out, and then these 2 teams are still technically alive, but they're probably going to get knocked out in the next round. Thanks for checking this out, folks. We'll see you next time.